gonna go through. I'm cognizant of my time, so let's go to Joey. Just generally the top.
Joey
was found hanging from a tree branch in July of 2019.
Correct.
And that was within Westerville that took place.
Yes.
The park where he was found, what is that called?
Boyer Nature Preserve.
And fair to say that through the course of your investigation in this case, you became aware of Joey's suicide.
Yes.
It was not a case file that had been assigned to you when it happened.
No.
But fair to say, as part of your investigation in this case, which I'm sure you would say was thorough,
Yes.
you went back and looked at the case file with respect to Joey.
Correct.
And you looked at the photographs because those were still within the custody and control of Westerville?
Detective Wright did.
Detective Wright did?
Yes.
Under your direction, but as part of your investigation?
Correct.
Right? And there were still photographs of that, of Joey as he was found hanging?
Yes.
And if you recall from your review and investigation of all the work done in this case, a runner was on a path and actually had discovered him in the morning hours.
That's correct.
Fair to say that in relation to Emily's missing and the investigation that followed between May 25th, 2020 and MatheauLMoore's arrest in June of 2021, that you as the lead detective on this case went back and really looked closely at the circumstances surrounding Joey's suicide.
What do you mean looked closely?
You looked at the case again,
Yes.
didn't you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You went back and you looked at it.
Sure.
And Joey's death was determined to be a suicide at the time when it happened. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's still the finding as of today, is it not?
That is correct.
You
And I
need to
want
stop
to
right
talk
there.
about, and I assume you know this.
There the Vanish podcast, Amanda Coleman, people that listen to those true crime podcasts. There's one called The Vanished. They still have on. They did a 3-part series on me, 3 pieces on my case prior to me being acquitted. Since I've been acquitted, they've said one thing. They said he was acquitted. That's it. They are still saying that there's an open investigation on Joey's death. They're lying. People that listen to those fucking podcasts, you're being manipulated. They're manipulating stories to get you to watch so that they can sell advertisement. They are telling you, they're trying to make me out to be a serial killer, that I killed Joey and then I killed my son who died back in the 90s. To make the story interesting. And part of creating that interest is there are still, to this day, saying that there's an open criminal investigation on how Joey died. That cop just told everybody that there never was an investigation. It was a suicide. And after even going back and looking at it, it was deemed a suicide. You're being manipulated by media. Yeah. Media is horrible. What the media did to me is fucking criminal. It's slanderous. It's libelous. And it's happening now with all media. I don't want to get too political, but the media is so fucking horrible now. Does everybody notice it? They're just lying. They say whatever they want to say. It's fucking horrible. I called lawyers. Hey, can we sue these people? Like those Vanish podcast people, why bother? They don't own nothing. They're fucking, they might have 2,000-3,000 listeners. There's a billion people in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like what they did to me in the media is horrifying. And they did it in conjunction with the Westerville Police Department, which is criminal. The Westerville Police Department told this Vanish podcast that I failed a lie detector test. And then the Vanish podcast comes out and is still saying it to this day that I failed a lie detector test. Once the people hear that you failed a lie detector test, you're done. You're guilty. But they don't work. they're not admissible in court. You know why? Because they don't fucking work.
Like, I'm surprised why they don't caveat that. That's a very important that's a very important information to actually put out there, because you can't just go around saying this guy has failed the lie detector test and this is not even a factor in his
Who the fuck calls the cops up during
case.
an active murder investigation, and the cops go, yeah, he failed a lie detector test and he stormed out of the fucking interrogation? It's what the is that legal? Can you do that? By the way, I didn't fail the lie detector test. It's called a voice inflection test. It's a scam. What they do is they make you take it, or you volunteer to take it. I volunteered to take it because I wasn't lying. I'm like, this is great. They'll take their eyes off of me and try to find her. Oh no, you failed it. No, you did. They just say that. They just tell you that. Yeah. It's a trick. Everyone knows this. But the Vanish podcast has it on their show. It's Dylan. Dylan's a different type of journalist. I've watched Dylan's shit. You're gonna get truth. This is what this is right now. Go to the Vanish podcast and just listen to what they produce. It's fucking garbage, literally, for morons, for littler Karens. You know what a Karen is, right?
Yeah.
I had to say that.
Yeah.
There's no place better you're going to get truth than this podcast about this case. All the rest of those, there's like 15 podcasts out there about my case. Garbage, all of it. They don't care about truth. They're trying to get you to click and like them and fucking listen to them so that they can sell advertisement. That's not what
it's weird.
That's not what Dylan and me are doing right now. We're not trying to fucking sell you advertisement. Trust me.
It's weird you say all that, because I made a post on Twitter today about because I'm seen as a quite boring YouTuber, because I just tell the truth. Yeah, I just tell the truth. You know, there's no side.
You don't try to make things. You don't lie to make things interesting. The Vanish podcast literally lie to their listeners to get them to listen, and that proves it right there. Grubbs just told all you guys that there's no investigation, never was, about Joey and his suicide. But go and listen. Don't even bother going and listening to the Vanish podcast. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. They're saying that there's still, to this day, an open investigation. There's still people out there saying they're hoping to get fucking that Emily gets justice this year. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I read that too.
What the fuck? Are you fucking do you really think that the Westerville Police Department wants anybody to know anything about what just happened with this case? They want you all to forget about it. They're not investigating shit. They're trying to find other people to fucking fuck.
Yeah, it makes sense now based on what you just brought out, because they were